Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily DVAR Halacha. And here's a brand new halacha for you, and it's for Monday, the 20th day of February, which is the 24th day of Shvat. Well, today's not exactly a halacha, kind of a halacha. Let's get right to it, and I'll explain. You know, we're about a week away from the beginning of the month of Adar. And of course, when we get into that month, we're going to announce to you the rule, the halacha, which is Mishanichnas Adar Marbim Besimcha. When Adar comes in, we should increase our happiness. By the way, that does mean that if you have any serious tests, lawsuits, or anything of the sorts that are coming up right now, it would be fantastic if you could postpone them into the month of Adar, because that's just a better time for us to deal with tests, difficulties, and whatever's, because it's a more auspicious time, it's a time for Simcha, it's a time for us to be victorious over our enemies, as happened in the time of Purim. Now, this idea of when the month of Adar comes, we increase our simcha, and let me just dovetail that with another halacha that says things like mitzvah gadola lihios besimcha tamid. That's not exactly written in the Shulchan Aruch, but we do live by those kinds of standards. We tell people to be happy all the time. David HaMelech said to us, Ivdu es Hashem b'simcha, serve Hashem in happiness. So what I wanted to focus on right here, right now, is how does a person just get happy? When the month of Adar comes, you're going to be told, increase your happiness. And we're told it's a mitzvah gedola, a great mitzvah to be happy always. And King David tells us, serve Hashem with simcha. But how do I do that? How do I just get happy? There's not a pill for it, I hope. And if there is, if you think there is, I hope you're not taking it. How do you get happiness? So I'm going to tell you a beautiful thing that I read from Rabbi Tatz. And he gleaned it from his rabbis, who of course gleaned it from the Torah itself. And here's the gist of it. Happiness does not come in a pill. Happiness does not come only by listening to your favorite music or hanging out with your best friends, etc. Although those kinds of things can help. Real happiness is this. Are you ready? Listen carefully. Real happiness can be attained by doing this. You find a goal that is very meaningful. Not a goal like that's not meaningful or shallow or just I want to get ice cream. That's not called the goal, but a meaningful goal. Like I want to develop this Jewish attribute. I want to accomplish this Jewish thing. Something that's very meaningful. And you make sure that this goal that you're trying to attain is attainable for you, so that you won't frustrate yourself by never getting there. And you want to make sure that it's not simply attained because you're there in 5 seconds and the job will not be much of a job. So you find yourself a very meaningful goal in something like the most meaningful is Judaism, our religion, and you figure out a way to make certain that that goal is attainable but just difficult to get to. And the chase, I don't mean to use that word lightly, but the chase of going towards that cause will bring you happiness. There it is right there. If you have a cause that's meaningful and you can get it, you can get to it, and it's going to take some effort, a lot of effort, and it won't be had just like that, but it's going to be a meaningful test to get there, like when somebody trains for a marathon, like that kind of thing. It's meaningful, but it's hard, and the training is the joy and everything. Well, you find something really meaningful, and you strive towards it. The striving itself towards that goal is happiness. So when you see things like it's a mitzvah gedola, lios besimcha tamid, that you always have to be happy, you could ask, how could I always be happy? Sometimes I stub my toe. Sometimes my friend is rude to me, or whatever. But if you're in the midst of a lifelong goal that's just out of reach and you can spend your whole life striving towards it, that striving itself is the source of all happiness. This is deep. Think about it. And when you think this out, then we could tell you things like be happy, because we can say have meaningful goals. Strive towards meaningful goals. When you're in the month of Adar, strive to have even more meaningful goals and go towards them even more meaningfully. And that will bring you happiness. These are deep things. Don't blow off what you just heard. They're billion-dollar industries trying to figure out how to be happy. And the secret is right here in this halacha today. Thanks for logging on. Log on again tomorrow for more. Bye-bye.